Hello, everybody. This is George Collins, and this is my first take and not my 31st. Welcome to the Capital City Comedy Podcast. I'm just jumping in. Just to let you know, this episode's a little bit more controversial than our other episodes. It's not completely terrible. It's more like for teenagers with an open mind, basically. So, just thought I'd let you know ahead of time, because people are really sensitive in 2015. That might have offended somebody. I'm sorry. Bye. Enjoy.
G.
D.
My bad. I was gonna restart. Is what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the Capital City Comedy Monday night podcast. We do it every Monday night, but tonight we're doing it on a Friday night because we got people here that we wanted to talk to. We got Eric Balch. Say hi.
Hi.
There we go. Gabe Davis.
Hey.
Columbus, Georgia. Sorry, my bad.
Hey.
Yeah, that still says hey. That's good. That's good. We got Brandon Kennedy over here.
Howdy doodles, Brandon.
He literally just waved at you motherfuckers.
I can't help
he
it.
He is aggressively cute. He's the fucking most adorable little... And Kurt Keller is over there.
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time he's over there.
Special guest, J.D. McCord.
What's your name, man? If you don't want to say your real name on the thing, you can
John McCord.
Okay, John McCord? Like
not
it.
McClan.
My name's Jason Fifi. That's my name. And this is Monday afternoon, nighttime. It's Friday late. It's late
Friday night.
We had a comedy show at Village Gallery tonight. That was fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people out of town tonight in Huntsville. People doing stuff. That's pretty fun.
First subject, kick it off.
So you have a bit.
I have a bit.
Yeah. You have
I
a bit.
do have a bit.
And originally,
you want me to say the bit on the podcast?
You don't have to.
Okay, I'm not
just
going
to the
to.
bit. Yeah, I don't want to ruin your shit. And it's butchered when you're not on stage and murdering. You know, you don't have your rhythm. Yeah,
Hello, is this 911? I'd like to report a murder. Yeah. Brandon Kennedy's killing it.
No, he isn't.
No,
Wow.
he's just sniffing panties. Anyway, and I remember you did it at an open mic, and I remember immediately after I went up and mentioned it, right? And I wasn't rude about it or saying that you were a horrible person or call. Okay, so the bit is that being married, you wear the ring, and it talks to you like Lord of the Rings, and
the one
says
ring.
the one ring, and goes, and
says
then,
evil
but
things.
then all the examples are the most petty bitch things, that your imaginary wife is a cunt in 1984, right? It's just the most stereotypical cunt. And I kind of ripped on that a little bit, but I wasn't making fun of you or saying that you were a misogynist specifically, right? Or calling you out as being female phobic or whatever. But
I am.
He's absolutely.
You're femme-phobic.
Ain't nobody love my dick like me, or whatever.
Celebrate yourself.
That's it. And so I think maybe I was more aggressive when I made fun of it that one time. I don't know how aggressive I was about it.
The thing I remember.
Yeah, you tell that part because I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's not my act.
I said it at Bar Hookah,
mm-hmm.
and the thing I remember was you got up there and you're like, Brandon, that's some petty bitch stuff. Me and my wife, you went into a whole bit about how you got your wife to, give you. It was right on the top of the dome. You
oh
went
yeah.
about how you got your wife to sleep with you.
Oh,
and I was just like, well, that's the thing. I guess some people. You just hear you're in a good marriage, I assume.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm
really
someone who's never been married, who doesn't plan on getting married anytime soon.
I never planned to. That's how you get a good marriage.
Yeah, I guess.
Spontaneously get married.
Yeah.
No.
Just randomly.
You just wake up
Doesn't work for everybody. Just throwing that out there. Spontaneity is not necessarily the key to a successful relationship.
Sure ain't.
Nope. It's all about raw pragmatism, is my point, right? It's all about raw pragmatism. Well, if it's a thing that you're like, well, fuck, I guess we got to do this now. It's the next step. Let's get some Cuisinarts.
That right there is where the idea for the joke came from. Was that this is stuff that like ruins a relationship, like the things I talk about.
Like every example is a negative thing.
Like that shit or get off the pot style relationship.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, just make a move, like one or the other.
And it's stuff that ruins a relationship. But once you're in a marriage, like I see this with a couple of my other friends in like long-term relationships. Like once you're at this point in your relationship, you're expected to do these things that nobody really wants to do.
Right.
And a little bit of it is exaggeration.
Right.
Like, a little bit of it is like, this stuff, like, is once you're in a marriage, you're expected to kind of do these things. And that's where it kind of came from.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying, like, I don't feel like you're a misogynist, because you're making fun of the tropes of a trapped marriage, right? And, like, most of these people that you know are they're probably either Christians or closeted homosexuals, or both. They're Christian, closeted homosexuals. So they're in shitty marriages, right? And that's a thing that happens all throughout the South, right? We know these people, right? They exist.
Yeah.
They're just really closeted homosexual Christians. And then they get married to the first hose beast that wants to, like, go on shore leave with them. Mm-hmm. And then they work as a door guy at GT South, and then they hate their lives. Right? Yeah, their life is just over, and they do hate going to brunch, right? And they have to go to brunch, by the way, because that petty cunt wants to go to brunch because she has bad judgment.
Yeah. This is getting overly specific.
I don't know who you're talking
at
about.
This point.
I'm just giving examples, is what I'm saying. I'm giving, like, just possibilities. It's hypothetical stuff.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah. Steve is a dick. Everybody knows Steve's a closeted homosexual Christian dick.
Yeah.
But I guess this one comes to turn. Like, when you switch to being a Christian, you got to have a hard secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like, you can't just be like an open Christian. You have to have something deep and dark. Either you're in love with your niece, or
you touch 19 of your siblings.
Yeah, you touched all 19 of your siblings.
All
at
19.
Least the six maids that were milking or something.
You and your dog have more than just an owner, a master in. Owner
the dog is the master in this relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just be Christian. It's always like...
some dark secret. Yeah, some like Insidious 2 shit.
Yeah. Hey, man, what are you doing Sunday morning? Oh, long story. I gotta go to church. The short version is... her head came off, so...
I don't know what happened. We were dancing. I twisted her neck a little bit to kiss me. It kind of went...
I thought people liked that.
Yeah, it kind of went all the way around until it twisted off. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Now I'm in the program.
That's why you got to have several girlfriends for backups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to have different ones for different
They got to be able to vouch.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't choke a bitch when you're losing your virginity. Right?
Not even that, though.
That's not how it works.
You gotta have one that
start slow.
You gotta have one you don't mind losing.
Oh, that too.
Exactly. So, like, if
I meant like people.
You gotta have a girlfriend that you don't mind dying. You gotta have a girl that you don't mind if she loses her life.
Like, I like how the spreads are warm and the beers are cold.
So can I ask a question to the circle?
Yeah.
Because I could really understand how like happy married people are like not offended, but
no,
like
I wasn't
kind
offended. I was upset for you.
Yeah.
Right? Where I was like, man, that sucks. I just want to give him. I just want to share with. I just want to share wisdom with this guy that I didn't even have 4 years ago. Right? Like, I want to share this joy that comes with a life lived honestly and secularly, right? Like, I want to give this guy this special thing. That's all.
So, I'm going to ask a question to the circle because I'm probably the most inexperienced comedian here. So, have you guys ever had any, like, mundane joke bits that, like, of mundane situations that have, like, not offended people, but like ticked people off. That people just didn't understand the gist of.
Oh yeah.
That come to head immediately.
Why are you even offended by this? Like,
yeah.
This is not something. Yeah. I got to think about that one if anybody wants to go first.
Well, it's just something to like churn in the back of your head while we talk.
Gabe was there and you were there. Do you remember? It wasn't 420. It was fucking MLK Day. Balcony bar.
It's already a good start.
You remember this? Yeah. And this 82-pound white girl was the only person offended, and it was like an aside. I lost my N-word virginity. You remember that?
I think so.
Because I was like I was giving this example. I was explaining what white guilt was. Because this dude was like, I don't even know what that is, and like I was explaining what it was, and I was saying back when I worked at Domino's when I was in college, driving pie. This dude that worked with me is another white guy, and he was a piece of shit, right? He was a garbage human being. And then I said, he used to tell nigger jokes, and then the hair on the back of my neck would stand up, and my ears would get hot, and I wanted to fucking punch him. And that's white guilt, right? My rage at what are they going to think about me, right? I don't know who's around. I don't know, but it's in my fucking head that I hate you for thinking that I'm cool with you saying that. Right? So this little girl was like, you said that word. I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? Now, I don't even remember saying it, first of all, until then she's like, you said the M word. I was like, I couldn't even think of when I said it, and then I was like, oh, because that's what those are called, though. Those are called nigger jokes. Like, that's a nigger joke. Like, a guy going like, hey, what's the difference between or whatever, right? Yeah. It's just a hack shit old jokes from the 30s or whatever, and he's being a racist piece of shit while he's on the make line at Domino's, you know, between bumps of meth, you know. Anyway, the point is, that was like the least of it. Everybody else was having a good time, right? It was about a split audience that night too.
Yeah, and you handled it too. Like you pointed her out. Yeah, you're just like, how you feel right now.
I don't remember her saying it on stage.
I remember you telling me about the situation afterwards.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. Okay. Fucking, that's why you don't drink and do comedy.
I was there, but I don't remember any of this.
See, all of the Uber shows, I was either passed out on a bench or just like way too wasted to like take in anything.
You were white girl wasted that night. You drank cider.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Cider.
That was the first night. Just in a bench, right in the front.
Because cider's awesome.
That was the first night I met Gabe Davis. I saw him perform. I was knocked out on a bench, and he would tell a joke like every 20 seconds. I would wake up out of my coma and just be like, "That's a funny joke." I would clap. Oh, that's pretty funny, guys. And just like fall back asleep. But he came
to
Montgomery.
You're funny, but just not funny enough to keep me completely away.
To keep you conscious.
There's very few things that keep six-drink
I was gonna say
away.
nobody's funny enough to like beat alcohol, like to beat the alcohol out of you.
Yeah,
George is.
George is. Oh,
George.
Oh, that's God damn.
George knocked the shit.
That's kind of an inside joke. Has this ever been on the podcast? This story? Because George will never tell it.
May I tell this story on the podcast?
Yeah, we're gonna explain it to.
We're out of town.
All these people don't know this story.
I'm gonna tell it.
You tell it. You got the shit kicked out of you.
Well, I didn't get the shit kicked out of me. So I did an Uber show, and it was for. Can I say his name? Like, do you think he'll give a shit?
What do you mean?
It was an Uber show.
It was a JC. Yeah, it was an Uber show.
Oh yeah, you can say his name.
Oh yeah, it was JC Ratliff. I was really excited. I wanted to like impress JC Ratliff.
Yeah, he's
I was like,
a great guy.
Got it. Do it. I'm gonna do my best set. But I drank a lot, and then I drank a lot afterwards. I got hammered drunk. I got into a thing with my girlfriend, and I decided I was going to walk from Auburn to Montgomery. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I don't have patience for this.
It's like Selma plus 4 miles.
Yeah.
For those of you guys
I looked it up.
Home.
It would have taken me 12 to 16 hours, depending on how fast I was walking. But
and what kind of shoes you had on?
These. No, boots. I had boots on.
Boots. Those boots were made for walking.
They didn't get that far. So George and Brandon and Sawyer are all in the car together, and I get to the on-ramp to the interstate. Now George has stopped me. Yeah, George has stopped me a couple times trying to get me back in the car, and I'm flipping out, I'm screaming. Anyways, get to the on-ramp. they pull up ahead of me. George gets out. I'm like, get out of my way, George. And he's like, what are you going to do? And I said, nothing. Just move. And that's when everything just went white. And then I'm on the ground and I can't breathe. George has got me in this, like this. And I can't even talk. I'm just like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, so he lets go. And then I'm like, where's my hat? Where's my hat? Cool, got it. And I said, thanks, George, I appreciate it. You know, because I was hammered drunk, and I had no reason to walk.
Can I give a flip side of this?
Blood. Just blood. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I was there too. And how this looks from the other side was...
pretty bad.
Yeah, Kurt's walking down the highway, and, like, George is out there yelling at him. And the final few moments, like, Kurt's like about to walk through George, and I'm gonna quote you, and this is gonna be really embarrassing. I'm sorry, Kurt, but Kurt's about to walk through George, and Kurt says, "Get out of my way," and George is like, "Nah, man, come on, get back in the car." And he's like, "I don't want." And Kurt, you say, "I don't want to have to fight you. I
didn't say that.
No, you did. You said, "I have these white girl arms, but I'll do it."
I didn't say that.
You
no,
did.
I didn't.
And no, George...
This changes the story completely.
George takes off his glasses and says, "You're going to hit me? Your friend? You're going to hit me?" And he's like, "I don't want to." And you walk forward, and George just pops you in the nose.
George said he elbowed me. I didn't actually get punched.
Yeah,
he said he was going to punch me, then he thought better. But, this changed the whole thing. Then at least I was sticking up for what I believed to be true.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, no, I'm not going to fight you.
So I see George move his hand.
Arms and everything.
So I thought he punched you. But I see George move his hand, and you just go down. And, like, then George gets on top of you, and Sawyer gets out the car and starts crying on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, get Kurt in the car. It doesn't matter anymore. So this is what the scene looks like to any passerby. There is a black guy choking a white guy on the side of the highway. There's a white girl in the grass sitting there crying. You're screaming, "I can't breathe, get off me." And I'm in the driver's seat. A black guy saying, "Come on! Get in the car! Come on!" Like, we were so close to getting arrested that night.
Yeah, it doesn't scream organ trade at all.
But it was an awesome evening.
It was a great time.
Yeah, we got back.
I got hit in the face for the first time.
we got back in the car.
It's the first time I've ever been hit in the face.
You're like an adult. How old are you?
30.
How awesome was your childhood?
Yeah.
You should hear his comedy.
Oh.
He didn't have
well, there was some overcompensation on the other parent's part.
Got it.
Lots of Ninja Turtles. And
no, that's not what dads are for. Dads are for punching you in the nose when you're 15.
No, we did that when I was 22.
That's what dads are for.
I watched my brother.
That's a whole
nother
podcast.
Kid at school for. My dad was pretty awesome.
But yeah, it was fun. Got hammered drunk and made JC Ratliff laugh, and I got hit in the face for the first time. So yeah.
My dad probably should have punched me in the face
a few
times.
The thing that brought the whole thing up.
Yeah. Sorry. Got hit. And George, I didn't know this. Because he's little, like he's shorter, right? And he's big, but he's not like I don't go like, that's an obese human being, right? He told me how much he weighed. I was like, that dude is more muscle than anybody I know. He's like a little linebacker, bowling ball guy. Like, I would not, for all the money in the world, I would not fight George.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is George Collins. I'm just here editing the audio for the podcast, and I hear them saying all this stuff about me. Understand this. You might not have all the context for it, but understand that I am not a monster. Okay, let's go back to the podcast. Follow me on my website, gcbroken.com.
So, whoever follows, like, the Capital City Comedy page who's listening to this, there's a video Henri Chermy put out on the page of George and I fighting in, like, stop motion.
Black Twitter.
And
I made front page of that shit.
And I had to face down George, like, while he was in a fighting stance. It was one of the scariest things I've ever done. That man knows how to fight.
There's a black Twitter.
Dude, you didn't know there's Black Twitter?
Black people Twitter is
it's called, it's reddit.com/r/blackpeopletwitter.
Oh, okay.
And
so
that's
not like Black Twitter.
I've made it to the front page on that once.
Really?
Yeah. I was the one with the deer jumping out over the highway with the forest fire behind it, and it was like when Bambi's mom puts my song on.
Oh, I've shared that picture
When
before.
Bambi's mom put my song on in the thicket. I just like saying thicket.
Yeah.
And like the top 3 comments were like, I just like that. I just like that title. Or, like I just like that that caption or whatever. And, oh yeah, the title was "Only You Can Prevent My Mixtape." It made me really happy. Like I was really proud of it. I was just doing for like a week straight. I was just making mixtape jokes and then just
there's so
find
much,
an image to put to it.
I love mixtape jokes.
And then I was doing. I can't even remember what was the other ones I posted. I posted a bunch of different stuff to that, but that was the most successful by far.
I could have made so many of those working in a pizza kitchen. Like, yeah, oven's broken, threw in a few mixtapes, now all the pizzas are burning.
It's crazy because, like being in that environment, you know, I see it before it hit, like, this whole
Right.
thing, and that's why I hate rappers.
By being in the environment, do you mean
You know, like, because
black?
you get off, yeah, exactly. I mean, like, being black as shit. Like
Being black as shit.
Like, you get offered, you really do get offered mixtapes
I know
a lot.
No, I
have somebody's mixtape in my car.
I do too. I have 3 mixtapes in my car.
It's going down at the Z Mart today on Ann Street.
That's right.
Yeah.
And everybody
So you just
raps.
had
When
Did anybody
my
see?
drummer and I dropped our record, I gave him half the physical copies, right?
Yeah.
Like all the rest of them went to distribution, like for people to order,
Yeah.
and then half I gave to him and was just like, go for it, like go to gas stations,
Yeah.
right? Because he was like, he wanted physicals to like go to gas stations and be like, yo, this is my mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
He's a drummer, not a rapper, but he still was like, this is my mixtape.
Yeah.
But see, that's annoying. That's like borderline like homeless behavior.
It is. It's totally homeless behavior.
Did anybody see, like, the clip from the Baltimore riots of the guy being interviewed? And he's like, yeah, man, I can't believe all
Love
this is
that guy.
happening. But on the side note, y'all, go check out my mixtape. Shit's
SoundCloud.
fire.
SoundCloud.com/ and then it just like drops.
Because it's funny because we used to give mixtapes a chance.
Right.
We actually used to give mixtapes a chance, and then everybody learned how to rap, and then it became
and
a
then,
point where, like, not learn how to rap.
Yeah,
that
and
was,
then
that was a
everybody
bad
started, like,
phrase.
stealing Pro Tools and shit.
Exactly.
Well,
that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Everybody, it became where they could just make their own demos and shit in their bedroom,
Yeah.
and then they just hand out bad copies of mixtapes, and then you put this in. Sometimes the audio ain't in sync, like the words ain't in sync with the beat, and you just
That was me.
Yeah.
I almost made a mixtape.
But that's the
They were
thing.
really bad
That's
songs.
what we do.
You would
Like
rap
that's
like Carlton,
that's
man.
what we do. Anybody, any young black African American male
Has tried to make a mixtape.
has
that
tried
was-
to either rap or make beats or both.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of growing up. That's puberty
is.
for black people.
Yeah.
That's your bar
Your voice
mitzvah.
deep.
That's our,
Balls
that's our
dropping.
You learn you're a man by not being able to make a mixtape. Then you go,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to get a real job now.
I don't trust any black dude that has never went through a rap phase. Like a try to
Like
rap
trying
or
to
try
do it?
to make
Absolutely, I'll
beats
go with
phase.
that.
I don't
Dude,
trust
I'm white.
anyone.
You got to fucking grind. Like, you got to fucking figure
Man,
something out.
I got
It's like we find
got
ourselves.
lyrics that I've wrote like sitting on my Google Drive right now. It's
Oh,
terrifying.
I
Oh,
still
God
remember
damn.
some of my bad lyrics that I wrote. Dude, it's not good. It's
I
not good.
performed one of my songs like as spoken word at an open mic once, and people thought it was a joke.
Dude, I
They
choked.
laughed at it.
I choked once, just like 8 Mile style.
that's
Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
like I did. Me and 2 friends of mine, we had.
How hot did your ears get?
I had made a beat, and they wanted
Shit
to
hurts.
use my beat. And this was in like high school, like I want to say our freshman or either our senior year. And we went to some place, and they let us get on stage and perform. The first dude rap, the second dude stumbled over his rap, and I was just like, no, I'm not
Why
not
did I
doing
do-
this.
Why did I do this?
I'm not doing this. And it was funny because like you put your outfit on, your rapping outfit on, and you look in the mirror
Yeah.
a lot before you
Yeah.
get on stage,
Yeah,
and then you psych yourself up.
Yeah, do you listen to hype music? I listen to a lot of
Yeah.
hype music.
I didn't
before.
listen to music.
Oh.
And then I got on stage, and then when the mic got to me, because we only had one mic, it was 3 of us, and we had to like rap
One
our
mic,
verses
3
and
dudes,
then
one
hand
chance.
the
hand the mic
Talent
over.
show.
Mom's spaghetti.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
It was so bad, man.
That was Eminem.
I'm so glad, I am so glad I didn't rap.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't rap. Like, if I would have rapped, I would have looked at myself completely differently now than I actually do.
Yeah.
Because I would have just been embarrassed. I would just cringe.
Just be like looking at yourself in the mirror every morning, like, God damn it, look at yourself.
Like, why did you do
You
that?
son of a bitch.
Now,
It's 5
also,
years ago.
I made the mistake of calling one of my friends who were like in the music industry a rapper. There's an important distinction now. There's rappers, which are bad, and there's hip hop artists, which are
Wait,
the
why
good
is
ones.
that? What? Why is there a distinction?
Well, because I called him a rapper,
'cause-
and he's like, "I'm not a rapper, man. Come on."
Because
That
Well,
might just have a
actually,
personal
though,
choice.
that's somebody
like,
that's
I'm not a
basically-
pothead, I'm a
basically,
stoner.
like, hip-hop artists actually
I was gonna
use,
say I would think hip hop artist is
Yeah,
more of a
absolutely.
derogatory term than rapper, because a
Toilet's
rapper
weird,
is a
you know,
person
on the
that's
handle.
actually like.
Sorry, Brandon.
But then a hip hop artist is the person like like Kanye West would be a hip hop artist, but then a rapper would be like
Lil Wayne.
Who do you want to
No,
be compared to?
well-
Because I'd rather be compared to Kanye West.
I'd rather
Than
be
Lil
compared
Wayne.
to Jurassic
No.
5 than either of those.
Yeah,
guys.
that's a good one.
no, because I'm talking more like
KRS-One. Good
yeah,
one.
there you go, or like yeah, exactly. I'm saying I wouldn't want to be compared to a Kanye West compared to like I don't know. I can't think of anybody awesome
See-
that's rapping right now.
I think of like
I was trying to think of a
Childish
rapper.
Gambino.
I think of
There
like
you go.
Childish
Yeah, that's
Gambino.
a good
one.
I don't really care for
Kendrick
that.
Lamar,
Some white ass
J.
shit.
Cole.
I'll get
I
yeah,
like
it
that,
is
yeah.
white ass shit. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Childish
that'd be a
Gambino
good one.
is like borderline. I'm almost like, man, all right,
It's
come
a-
on.
It's fun. I saw him at Bonnaroo. It was fun.
Can't
No, I
I'm
saw
sure
him in
he's awesome.
Asheville.
I'm sure
In
he's super
Asheville,
fun
it was
live.
a
I
blast.
checked the album out. I liked it. It's not. It has no re-listen potential.
Which
at all.
album?
The most recent one.
Okay, no,
Whatever.
listen
Because
to
the internet-
Campfire, right?
no before that.
That was because the internet was the most recent one.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
you
yeah.
want either it's cul-de-sac and there's another one. They're so good.
Lights
Oh,
and
there's-
girls,
those are the
you
only ones
can
I
put
listen
it
to.
in
I don't
my
listen to the new
video.
ones.
Lights and
Like I
girls, you
can't.
can
Like
put it in
Campfire
my
killed it.
video.
Like I can't do that album. It was too Drake. He was listening to too
Yeah.
much Drake at the time. There's too
Yeah,
much
it's
singing.
too emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much.
That's a better.
Heartbeat.
And then he
That's
just
a
got
better
weird
example of what I'm
and-
talking about.
yeah.
So Drake would be a hip hop artist. Right?
Drake, to me,
He
is
ain't no fucking
R&B.
rapper, right? Is what I'm saying. And then a rapper would be like somebody that fucking is a rapper.
Busta
And
Rhymes.
he's not the guy making the beats. He doesn't give a fuck about the business side. He's just a fucking talent. Like he just does that one thing.
Yeah.
And that's what that is.
Well,
So,
see,
I
I'm
guess-
not a comedian. I'm a funny artist. That's what I
You're a dick.
am.
I'm
I'm
not
a dick
comedian.
artist.
I'm a reaction.
I
seeker.
craft
I don't care
art
if you
out
laugh,
of dicks.
just
For
react.
saying
Yeah.
that.
Just
Do
don't be
something.
silent.
Yeah.
As long as you're not silent, then I did something good.
If you get
But that's
fucking
it.
angry, I'm happier than if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. That's right. Wouldn't you rather?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Somebody
I'd
go-
rather have somebody like. I'd rather have somebody. I'm shy
I
to
would
put
do
this.
that before that.
Yeah, you can sit on this
I'm
one.
okay.
No, actually, throw it over there.
I'm shy to put this on the podcast,
Yeah.
but I'd probably rather somebody heckle me than crickets after a joke.
Did you hear the
Yeah.
reaction
No, for
I
sure.
got at
Like the
Duos
hospice thing.
night?
Like 5 fucking old rich white people being like yelling about turtles.
Okay,
right?
so I'm
was
gonna
way
pause
better
you.
than if they just left or
Just
shut the fuck
real
up.
quick, because we
Go ahead.
can keep on this
Go ahead,
topic,
go
but
ahead.
this brings us back to
Hecklers versus-
mundane jokes that didn't
Oh,
go
yeah,
over well.
people-
People want to think about those,
Oh,
and you can
about
continue
that.
what
Yeah,
you're
go
saying.
Yeah, I got one. So, like, I went to, I want to say Covington, Louisiana to do a show with a comedian named Corey Mack.
Oh fuck! I'm doing a show with him June 4th and
Oh,
5th.
he's the greatest.
Yeah.
Like, he's a genius. But, like, this woman in the crowd, like, I used to have a really long beard, and I would make jokes about it. And then I realized after, like, 6 months, like, this is just a gimmicky thing, and I need to write more original material.
The Beardomatic.
Yeah. So, like, I was telling a joke about it. It was, like, a completely non-offensive joke. It was, like, about how, like, I got, like, a Bennigan's double burger stuck in my beard, and I didn't even know about it until I cleaned it out that night. And
Oh.
I was like, I've never even been to Bennigan's before. And she was, like, just furious about, like, me mentioning Bennigan's. Apparently, she was like, fuck you for saying shit about Bennigan's.
That restaurant's awesome.
I mean, it is awesome,
Like,
yeah, but I
I
don't
love,
understand why
like,
she's so
I've
upset.
literally never eaten there, but I know what it is. And it's like, I just made this joke about, like, absolutely nothing. and you're getting mad about that. And she was like, your beard sucks. You need to cut it off. It's like, okay.
I've got one. I got somebody mad. I walked a young lady at a house party because of manners.
Nice.
Though the manners were belonging to someone that was trying to rape a young lady. It's the polite rapist. It's a bit I don't do.
Yeah.
I did it one night. Gabe did GT South. I was emceeing that night, and you did a joke about rape or involving the word rape, and I was like, well, he said it, I'm doing it. So I did it, but anyways, the house party night, she got so fucking mad at me for. I mean, understandably, it's a very touchy subject, but manners are important. That was my point.
Right.
You don't forget them.
You have to have like an etiquette and like law of ethics when it comes to forcing yourself upon a woman in the most terrorizing and traumatizing moment of their life.
Yeah.
Right.
Men get raped too.
Yeah.
Actually, more likely to in the
He's got a
United
whole
States.
punch bug and
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, when they order all the stuff on the menu and don't want to pay for the stuff they bought.
Sounds like a personal story.
Or when they expect you to just give them money. Or when bitches invite you out on their birthday and you don't know it's this bitch's birthday. And then all of a sudden she's like, all right, well, let me get the all-star breakfast. And then I'm like, well, let me just get 2 eggs because I know my wallet. And so, and then at the end of when you go to the counter at the end of Waffle House and she hands her receipt and then backs away. And now there's just you and the cashier eye to eye. And then you paying her way, and then when you leave, she's like, "Oh, today's my birthday. I didn't want to get you a present. I don't know you like that."
Gabe, do you need counseling for
But no,
the
it's not even
situation?
like it's not even a counseling thing.
and then you crawl in the fetal position.
And that's
You
what I'm
let
saying,
the cold
because
water run.
The only reason,
And
the
you
only
feel
reason
like a
that,
human again after a couple hours.
and the only
But
reason
in
that
that moment, you're dehumanized.
And the thing is, the only reason that bothers me is because I made a strict vow to myself to not pay for a girl's date ever again. The last time I paid for a girl's date, pay for a date on purpose, was to go see the movie 2012, and it came out in 2010. And it was because she was being all snooty or whatever, and we go out, and I didn't plan on paying for her. We get to the movie theater. She goes in first. I'm trying to be a gentleman. She goes to the register, and then she's like, 2 tickets for 2012, and then she backed away, and it was just a clear shot between me and the cash register.
Ooh.
Right.
Dude, she planned that
She
shit.
planned that shit.
I mean, I don't talk to her
She's a
anymore.
professional.
I was about to say,
I
yeah.
don't talk to her
like
anymore.
that's a professional.
I mean,
move.
I wouldn't have punched her, but if like I had a red card in the pocket, I was just gonna like throw it at her.
Yeah.
Soccer.
Or I just walked away. That's the other thing. I've done
But see,
that.
this was
I've
back
done that
then,
on
though. I
people.
didn't
You
know
know what? Redbox
I didn't
will
know
eventually
what to
exist.
do
I'm
in
sure
that
it will.
situation, you know?
I was really lucky. I was single for a long time, right, into adulthood, right?
Yeah.
You're 27?
27.
27, that's right.
Yeah.
So I was single up until well past that, right? Like, like right now, right? Some bitch did that to you at a movie theater. What would you do? For
Ooh,
real.
ooh.
Yeah.
So if somebody did that to me, I would like walk up and be like, "Who else are you bringing?
Well, no,
Like,
I
who else
was.
you buying a ticket for?"
Well,
got
no,
a mouse
she
in your
said 2
pocket.
tickets.
Or whatever.
But she said 2 tickets for
Is that for your
2012. I would have just
imaginary
said they're separate.
Yeah.
That's what I would have
that's
done.
it. Yeah, you
Now.
can say that.
That's more
Yeah.
adult thing to do.
That's way more adult. I was, you're like, 27. We're not that much farther. Like, we're not
Yeah.
that far apart. It was
Yeah.
right before I met my wife, right? Like, we're talking like months before I met my wife. It was that moment of clarity of like, oh, I'm a fucking man now, right? Because it wasn't Waffle House specifically, and it wasn't movie theater specifically, but this girl ordered at Wendy's, right? And then just like walks that way without paying the bitch, and like she didn't order for me because that would be worse,
Yeah.
right? But
Right.
she just ordered her food and then stepped aside, and I was like, I wasn't planning on paying for it, right? Like
Yeah.
I got money, I'm fucking fine, right? Like I'm not hurting over a $3 meal at Wendy's, but it's the principle of the thing, and
Yeah.
I'm not.
Like that's something you establish before you get to the cash register.
Right.
Exactly.
And then you're not going to tell me that, so you're going to be a shitty lay.
Yeah.
I don't want what's going to happen in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not interested anymore.
It's got
Yeah.
to time out perfectly.
Right?
Yeah, well,
I knew
as it's
exactly
happening,
when
like-
I was.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? It's George again, just popping in the request of the people who was recording this podcast, just to do a seamless transition to the next conversation because this conversation was boring and I don't want to bore you. They were talking about unmanly things like picking flowers, going to the grocery store, making lists and shit like that. Going back to the podcast.
I have a mundane joke that didn't go over well.
Call back.
Because and it's funny. It's mundane because it wasn't even a joke when I told it. I was doing a show in Atlanta, and I used to do this bit about when I was working in the call center. I used to do this bit about how I hated working 40 hours a week because then they give me time to holler at bitches like I like to. That's what I would say, and that's what I said. And this girl in the corner
did not get the irony.
She did not like it. All she heard was bitch. That's all she heard. She didn't hear none of the other words. Yeah. And so but the funny part was that she let me finish. I had 10 minutes. She let me finish. This was at the 5-minute mark.
I was about to say 10 minutes in Atlanta.
That's a lot.
For those of you that have never done a show in Atlanta,
that's a lot.
That's a long set.
But see, this was at the Urban Grind in Atlanta, and I don't know how they do the times now. But at the time, you had to talk to someone, and they'll book you for it, and then you get like maybe 8 to 10 minutes or 5 to 7 or whatever to do whatever you wanted to do. But 5 minutes in, because I timed my set. But when I first started, I used to time everything so meticulously, so I knew at the 5-minute mark I was going to be saying, I'm still working 40 hours a week at my job, so I can't holler at bitches like I like to. So, but it was funny because at that moment, she let me finish the rest of my set. And when I put the mic up and I said, all right, name's Gabe, y'all been great, blah, blah, blah. Time I put the mic in the stand, she went off and just started booing. Boo, no, boo, boo, boo. And then the host came up and she was like, and said, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought it was funny. And she's still booing. She was like, he was calling women bitches. And I said bitch once. Yeah. And she was like, she said, I was calling bitch. He was calling women bitches. And no, and this is a coffee shop.
Right.
So she had a laptop open and she was studying. And I actually
she wasn't even paying attention.
I actually made her close her laptop and pack her bags up and leave. Dude, and she was booing while she was doing all of that. So she closed the laptop and she was still booing. Boo.
Bending over to unplug the cord and everything.
She's zipping up her bag, still booing and walked out. Booing.
Yeah.
That's the
professor's like, why does it say boo?
That's like full commitment to the boo.
She typed it into her essay.
Actually, that's funny.
Don't call women bitches.
Well,
on the paper.
I got a comment for that because I think as comedians, like, it's our job to like tackle any subject we want to tackle.
Pretty much.
But me, personally, on stage, like, I have a certain language filter of like how groups of people feel about stuff, and it's like I'll curse in character. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm quoting Kanye West, I have a Kanye West joke. I drop the F-bomb, and I have a Lil Wayne joke. I drop the N-word a couple times, but it's like I personally don't use these words, but like I could never bring myself to call a woman like a bitch on stage because like there's. Well, like that.
First of all, he didn't.
Well, no, he didn't. But I'm just saying, like, I can't bring that word out of my mouth, like, on stage, just in general, because it triggers something. And you know me,
that's my one word. That's my one that I can't say.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one for me, is I won't call a woman a bitch. I will say all day long, Brandon is a basic bitch.
Yeah.
And that's not offensive or rude to Brandon at all.
Yeah.
He just likes Blood Brothers. I mean, not Blood Brothers. What's that? Black Keys. Right? He likes the Black Keys. That's some basic shit. Right? It's okay. It's good. I've got both their records on my iPod. Basic as fuck.
What do you mean both? There's like 12 of them.
Whatever. They put out too many goddamn records is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wasn't attacking you, by the way. I was just saying personally.
Oh, no, I know what you're saying. And I get that.
But, like, that's a context. Also, that joke is a context where he's saying, works at a call center 4 hours a week, and he can't holler at bitches like he wants to.
Yeah,
that's clearly a character and an ironic appropriation of the word, saying, like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if this dude, right? Like,
could holler at bitches
a dude
like
exactly. A dude that would be this, but also would use this language to describe this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also,
Right.
I was still kind of new to doing comedy,
Mhm.
and in her defense, I did go from squeaky clean to
Mhm.
all of a sudden talking about bitches. Because
Right.
at the 5-minute
Shock.
mark,
Yeah.
I was done with all my clean jokes. Because when I first started out doing, I'm not a cursing type of dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So a lot of times when I come up with jokes, there's not a lot of cursing in them. But so for 5 minutes, I was doing all the stuff I came up with no cursing, and then at the 5-minute mark, the deaf girl bit has cussing in it. So I
Mhm.
was like, it's gonna be funny. So I'm gonna start off talking about bitches, and then
Yeah.
it soften you up for the part when I talk about the deaf girl.
Yeah.
So
You know, it's like,
and I don't think and that was like my first year doing comedy when I was doing that deaf girl bit. I haven't done it here ever because I was like, I'm not talking about that anymore.
What's the deaf girl bit?
The deaf girl bit stems
I
from.
just want the idea of it.
I mean,
you don't have to. I know you don't
I'm
do
not
it
gonna
anymore.
I'm not gonna
I
do
mean,
the joke, but I'm tell you what
No,
it was.
I do want to understand what that
the
means.
gist.
It,
yeah.
Awesome.
it actually comes from I was downtown with the bars in Columbus with a couple of friends of mine, and we ran into a couple of friends of one of the friends I was with.
Right.
So, and one of the friends just happened to be a girl. We was inside of like this bar, and she had this speech impediment, but I didn't know it because the music was loud.
Oh, jeez.
So I mean I couldn't understand her, and so when we got outside, and we were standing in the car, and I thought she was kind of cute, and so I asked her for a phone number, and she had the speech impediment like a deaf person would have, and so I thought she was deaf when I met her because of how she was talking. So from that point on, I was like, I thought she was deaf, but it didn't stop me from trying to get a phone number, hang out with her the next night. And that's where the joke comes from. That girl, because I thought she was deaf when I met her, and I was asking my friends, was she deaf and whatnot.
So unprofessional, right?
I know.
He whispered at his point. He whispered to go to the bathroom, and his phone is on loud.
At least his phone's ringtone wasn't like something just like stupidly offensive.
Oh,
Like just screams out like "fuck bitches, get money" every time he gets a text message or something like that.
But that's where the deaf girl thing comes from. But prior to that, I talk about how I don't get to holler at girls like I like to because I work 40 hours a week at a call center. But that's what it was.
So while we're on the subject, does anybody else have like any situations they want to give? So while we're on the subject, then we can go from mundane jokes of just like things that were like not offensive that people took offensively to like what do you because as comedians we're gonna have moments where we offend people. Do you guys have like any specific moment where you said like a normal joke that could be taken offensively that you got people like actively offended at you? Because I if you guys need time to start, I can start this one.
I think
I had
it sounds like the same question you just asked.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
You just
basically.
changed
Well, no,
the
the
mundane for normal.
jokes,
Yeah.
Basically,
Okay. Well, never mind
like,
then.
I
Did
feel
you
like what
tell
you
an
should have asked
offensive
is
joke?
the exact opposite.
Okay. So
What is the most
Offensive
thing
joke that-
you can say?
that
Yeah.
went over well?
But then I'm just gonna say same answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an abortion joke. I told her to bat in the wrong place one time.
Dude, let me tell you, like, I don't get pissed off about a lot of subjects. Abortion's one of them. But, like, there's, like, that, like, trope joke of, like, yeah, I took my girlfriend to the abortion clinic and I locked my keys in the car and I had to go in and get a coat hanger. Like, if you tell some variation of that joke, I hate you.
Yeah.
I've
Like,
done that one
yeah.
a long time ago.
I've
but I
never
totally
heard
did
that.
that joke.
It's like,
I had that joke.
For a short period
Everybody
of time.
thought they wrote it,
Like,
though.
every comedian in Pensacola
Where's my
had
notebook?
that variation of a joke. And it was like, I want to hit you in the face with a fucking chair. Because, for starters, it's really not that funny of a joke, because it's been played so many times. And two, you're just an asshole for saying that. Okay?
I've never heard it.
For
Like, this is the first time I've ever heard
Well-
it.
Yeah, because you're not a Pensacola comic. You're
Fair
not.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't heard it a million. I'd never heard it.
Yeah.
When I did it, I'd never heard anybody do it. I thought I was a genius because I was like, what if you were taking, because I took a girl to get an abortion.
Yeah.
And was like, walking in, and then I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I locked my keys in my car? What would I use? Because you can't ask. Yeah, exactly. And it was almost like innocent, where I was like, I couldn't go anywhere and ask for one.
Yeah.
Right? You can't ask for one because they'll be like, no, we used science.
It is a heck of a good joke concept,
technology,
though.
right? It is.
Yeah, the first time.
But everybody in the world's written it. Is
Yeah,
the thing.
the first time it was told, it was like, oh man, that's fucked up.
And
That's
some
funny.
people have stolen it. Clearly,
Yeah.
like you can't. And now you can't differentiate
Yeah.
who wrote it and who stole it, right?
Yeah.
For me,
Anyway.
we're talking about most offensive jokes that went over well.
Oh.
For me, a good third of my humor is like just Jesus jokes. Like I just have a bunch of Jesus jokes, and most of them are like pro Jesus jokes. Like yeah. But I remember the first time at the show the place we did tonight, Village Gallery. Like before we started going there, it was just known as like the Black people hangout place in town. And so, one of the first nights we did a show there.
I don't get that impression.
Yeah.
It was somebody else
I
told
don't
me.
know. I don't know how anybody could make that assumption about the place.
Brought them titties and ass on the walls.
But anyways, one of the first nights we did a show there, I did a Jesus joke, and there's an old black man with his wife sitting at the bar, and he was like looking furrowed at me, and then he started laughing, and like I got off stage, I walked by him, and he's just like, "Man, I can't believe you insulted the Lord and Savior." But it was funny though. I was like, see that comedy has that way of piercing those bubbles, and like none of my jokes are like Jesus is dumb. It's just like subjects people don't think about.
But granted, you can't really tackle religion in like black crowds because they kind of taken aback.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
And they really like even if you have like
that
like a
like
concept
an
or something.
touchy subject for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I try telling a religious joke. I don't tell it anymore after that, but I tried telling a religious joke in front of a bunch of black people, and it's the fact you're saying either religion or Jesus. It's key words that they pick up on. It's not really like they don't hear the joke. Once they hear the words,
until they hear that word.
I told a joke tonight about wanting to marry a white woman to have a mixed child, and Jason like really helped mentor me with this joke because it started off with it has subjects and it's like I'm a black man, I want to marry a white woman, like instantly touchy. I want to have a mixed child because it looks like a miniature Mexican person. Yeah. Mexican person instantly touchy. Right. And it's like that joke, the first time I told it, people looked at me in horror at GT South. No laughs. And now that's one of my strongest jokes because I replace every transitional word with like, oh, I want to have a mixed child, but it might look like a Mexican person. Cricket, cricket, cricket. I would love that. Like I take the negative and like I want that. Like things like people are like, oh my god, why was it like that's awesome? Stop thinking these are negative things.
You were talking about like not flipping a coin, but like you were like, you
50-50.
Yeah, you got a
50-50
chance that it's going to be the most beautiful thing in the world, or it's going to look like a Mexican.
Yeah,
and then it was like. Like nobody knew you didn't care. Like nobody knew that you were like that would be awesome.
Like that's how you handle touchy things. Right. It's like you have to pro everything.
But no, it's risque. You gotta have it kind of silly too. If you would have just said like just Mexican, what made it kind of not as bad was you kept saying makeshift Mexican, which makes it sound like
silly.
You're it's silly now.
Makeshift
like you're
is a good word.
We know you're not serious now.
Bronzer to
it. Makeshift
Mexican now.
You're shooting a B movie, and there's like you have a lady that's an extra. And then, like, a white lady brought the baby, but she has a hair lip, and you don't want her pushing the stroller. So you just grab bronzer and slap it on the white baby, and then make the Mexican lady push the stroller. That's a makeshift Mexican.
Addendums.
Yeah. Talk about, like, offensive jokes and touchy subjects and everything. I used to...
Race jokes.
I used to do improv with this all-black comedy troupe, and it was basically just like it was just this like derivative of like Wild 'Em Out, like the show on MTV, and it, like we did like 7 or 8 shows together in Mobile, and we also went down to like Fort Walton Beach. Yeah, no, I fully admit that I was the token white fucking guy of the entire group. Like, and I'm not talking like, oh yeah, this is like a mixed crowd of like, 64. I'm talking like 99-1 ratio, like black to white, and I was that one. And, we played all these like, improv games and shit like that. One of them was called On the Stand, and it's like one person is sitting down, they're on the stand, another person is like accusing them of just random shit and everything, and then I have like a lawyer, quote unquote, who's like defending me and busting back and everything like that. So like, I'm on the stand, dude's asking me questions, like, nah, Eric, is it true that you own a farm? No, if I did, you'd be working on it. And like, I said it, and for like half a second, I was like, this is the moment that I die. And 150 black people were like, what? Like, okay. Don't smoke weed before shows in urban bars. You say things you shouldn't say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with the urban places, as long if you're another race, you just have to play up being that other race.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So the fact you said that, they were gonna lose it.
Yeah,
it's just
because you owned it. Like you go like, yeah, I'm white.
Yeah,
right. Like,
and I own you.
That too. Yeah. You own that guilt. You owned everything. Like you took it on. Yeah. You weren't going like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Like you were going.
Yeah. No, this is how it is.
It was about you. It made it. This is the shitty thing about me.
Yeah.
You were innocent until proven white guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. You own that room.
He owned 3/5 of that room.
That room. Yeah.
Oh.
No, he only acknowledged 3/5 of it. The rest just didn't matter.
Yeah. It didn't count.
Yeah, the rest didn't count.
God, that guy.
What time are we hitting at?
I don't like. I'm gonna let George edit.
Yeah.
Like, we're just fucking around.
Yeah.
F you,
So much
George.
of this is not going.
Yeah.
Like so much of this was like.
Hey, have I told you guys the proper way to rape people?
But that had to be.
Oh!
That's funny.
Okay. I
Don't ever
That had to
Say
go.
what?
Why do we keep going back
Oh,
to
yeah.
this?
What?
Yeah.
No. The rape thing. The old lady. Yeah, I want to go back to. No, sorry. Let's not go rape thing. All right. Back to religion in urban rooms. Right. So I was talking to George,
Anybody need
and
I'm good.
George.
I'll take one.
Fridge is right there.
Yeah, I
Dave
would.
wants one.
I would totally take one. Yeah,
Jason.
I'll take one.
Okay.
George is a out atheist, like on stage out atheist, black comic, right?
Yeah.
And have you ever? First of all, have you ever seen that? Right? Not a lot.
Not
That is-
out. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Not out. Right? Like I mean, if you're a comic
You're most
and you're
likely
you're serious and you're a person that you don't believe in spirits and stuff, right? You can have cultural ties to whatever you want to have cultural ties to, but you don't believe in nonsense anymore. Like there's no monsters under your bed, you have no gods or masters, right?
Santa's real.
Yeah, Santa's real as shit, dog.
I actually believe eventually I will become the next Santa.
I mean,
saying,
you've already
'cause
got
I
a
mean-
decent enough beard for us.
Well, no, it's not so
Just
much
keep the
that.
beard
it's just
going and
I
beer
enjoy,
belly.
the belly thing. I
Yeah.
enjoy cookies. I enjoy. There's a movie that stars Dudley Moore from the '80s, and they feed the reindeer this glittery weed-looking thing. I want that because it makes them fly, and I feel like being Santa is the best
Glitter
way to
weed?
get. Yeah, you've never seen it? It's got
What
Dudley
movie
Moore.
is this?
It's called. It's called the Santa Claus movie or something like that. But it's Dudley Moore, John Lithgow, and it's set in. It's one of the most '80s movies I've ever seen. It's in New York City, well, the North Pole in New York City, and it's about a street rat, little orphan kid who befriends this rich girl who lives with her uncle, who is John Lithgow, who is a corrupt CEO of a toy company. Dudley Moore's an elf, leaves Santa's workshop to go do his own thing, but he takes some of the special formula and they put it in lollipops and they give it, like they sell it, and Dudley Moore becomes like this whole thing. It's amazing. It's on
That
Netflix.
sounds awesome, though. Yeah,
It
that
is.
sounds really awesome.
It's
That sounds really like complicated but awesome. Yeah, I'm into it. Okay.
It's not as complicated.
But George is a black out atheist on stage, and I was kind of talking about like because he doesn't give a fuck, right? Like urban room, white room, doesn't matter. He's still gonna do his shit, and he's gonna say what he's gonna say. He's not changing himself to be, he's not gonna go like, well, I shouldn't say that in front of black people, right? Even though he knows, right, how much culturally, right, the white man's religion is still like forced into this culture 2 centuries later, 3-4 centuries later.
What does he say? He's the ultimate minority?
Yeah. He never says that on stage, and I don't think I ever heard him say it.
It's on his, like, his blog.
Oh, yeah. Is it?
It was one of his most recent things he posted about. He said something about. I don't know if he said the ultimate minority or like something like that, where he's just a very, very narrow.
Sounds like a wrestler.
It is.
He used
Well,
to
I was
be
telling him
training,
he
was training to be a
in my
wrestler
whole
before.
life. I have met 4
Ultimate
I've
minorities.
ultimate war. No, I've met 4 people that could be the stag. No, I've met 4. I've met 4 out black Southern atheists in my entire life. Right, that is all my whole life. 4 that are out and like public about their not belief in stuff. Right, and yeah, doing that on stage is a fucking thing. Like, that's intense. Because, yeah, when you do an urban room, you've done an urban room, everybody here's done an urban room.
Yeah.
And if you're not, like, at least, like, if you start talking about religion and you're not at least a little bit apologetic about it, like,
they're going to rip you to pieces.
you're not going to have a good time.
Lose them immediately.
Yeah, you lose them real fast. Even, like, my little kind of, like, apologetic aside thing, where I was like, people make fun of Christians all the time. Because I don't like people that make fun of Christians, right? I think it's hacky.
Yeah.
I think it's hack as fuck for atheist comics to be like, Christians are dumb. Yeah, so are you, right? Everybody's fucking dumb. We're pieces of shit. We're fucking humans.
Yeah, everybody's
We're
an idiot
dumb.
sometimes.
We're not that good. And Christianity, you're like, yeah, Jesus was on to some, like, I like to look for the positives in Christianity. Like, I was like,
My thing
Jesus
with
was on some, like, next level ass Zen Hebrew shit, right? He figured some cool shit out. But the point is, whatever. You can't, like, be negative about religion in an urban room because you'll lose them fast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I mean, for me, my general theme that I've just come to, like, address subjects with is, even if I don't believe in something that, like, disagrees with me, like, I am personally avidly against, like, smokers and, like, weed, but, like, I don't go around, like, yelling, I hate it,
I
or
used to.
whatever.
Yeah.
I did on stage. You've seen me do that.
Yeah.
My like thing about like weed. Because I don't smoke weed, right?
Yeah.
I've smoked weed twice my whole life,
Wow.
right? In my whole life, smoked weed twice, and I'm just like, fuck that, right? And I thought it was the new religion because I was like, I remember religion being like, oh, that's hack, hating religion, that's old hat now.
But my
Weed
thing
the new
is,
one.
I don't make fun of subjects. I make subjects fun. You know, like addressing
You
the.
Mr. Rogers ass motherfucker.
Right. Wayne Brady.
That's some fucking Sesame
That
Street
makes
ass
subjects
shit right
fun.
there.
Are you a teacher?
Hey,
Like cartoon
I'm
letters and
a
shit.
very
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. I'm not bubblegum comedy, but
Dude,
I'm somewhere.
Brett's
close.
the type of comedian that would pass stuff out before the show. Like,
Yeah.
When you
Here's your-
write,
now look, normally I don't give people the safety pins, but you guys can. I think you
Yeah.
guys are cool.
let me know how you
like,
think
do you
of.
like- do you
Hold
like
the
give-
red card up
do you
if you
give
like
good
it.
audience members a gold star?
I would if I had
Dude,
if I had
that actually
stickers.
would be kind of fucking.
I would totally do that.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start bringing
If
a
you get a
packet full
gold
of
star.
stickers.
Brett's
Just
the
put it
type.
right
I'm gonna start doing
I
that.
think you. I feel like you
I
would
already
shake
carry a
hands
fucking
on the way
briefcase,
to
I
the
may as well.
stage.
Yeah.
I would if people offered.
It's the type of comic that would shake hands on the way to the stage and just and
On the
then
way up.
thank them
Yeah.
for shaking his hand once he got on stage.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming.
Yeah.
Like before you say one joke, yeah. Are we doing like a Drake that type of nigga? Brandon that type of comic. Yeah. Brandon that type of comic.
No, you had one.
Man.
I really liked. It was
that should be a theme
Brandon.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Brandon's that type of guy that would search Pornhub for emotional stability.
Yeah.
I was just like, I am slain. That's it. I'm done.
Tears really are the best lube.
Man, I see you didn't
Coconut
hear.
oil's pretty good. It's natural. Tastes good.
I got
for the most part.
Oh no, go ahead.
You can cook with it. Oh, I'm just talking about
He's talking.
I got another comedian subject. So tonight I tried to transition my comedy more towards like a conversational voice. Like
This is just tutoring Brandon, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
No, I'm not tutoring.
A lot, but yeah.
I'm
we're
see,
tutoring. No, he's saying
Okay,
like
yeah,
we're
tutoring
tutoring you.
Yeah. So tonight
You're
I
asking
tried to
advice.
transition my comedy, and I've been watching like a lot of like top rated Netflix comics and
What I would
everything.
say is don't do that. That
Yeah.
last part, you said the watching stuff, don't do that.
Well,
Yeah.
no, not like I want to
No,
do this.
I know. I'm saying, no matter what, like especially now, like if I could go back, and I don't know about you guys, if I could go back, 16 years, and when I was starting to do comedy, just tell myself one thing: it would be stop watching comedy.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
And don't listen to it. Don't watch it. Right? Just
Focus
do it.
on
Well,
you,
see,
because if you listen and whatever, you go like shit finds itself.
It gets in there.
Finds its way into stuff, and then you're not doing it. It's not going to become part of your act, but like unconscious things happen, and you go like, fuck. And you.
Well,
then
let
you-
me
See, I
ask
don't-
you. Okay, go ahead.
I don't agree with that because if I could go back 3 years, because I've only been doing comedy for 3 years,
Yeah, same here.
I would say keep watching it, but don't watch it to study it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if- like,
Enjoy
if-
it.
That's
if-
what
if-
I'm-
Out of
yeah.
respect,
And-
yeah.
and the thing
Don't,
is-
appreciation
don't
is
try to,
one
like,
thing.
sit there and take notes
Yeah.
and like see what they're doing. Just like watch it and enjoy it for what
But,
it is.
Yeah.
but I do agree with what you said. Stuff will seep in to you.
Yeah.
But it's just like how you talking with friends. So you have inside jokes you guys say. That stuff just comes out. But in the same token, you wouldn't be doing that in a legitimate show.
Yeah.
When you're in a legit show, you have all your bits worked out. You have
Yeah.
all your jokes worked out. There would be no room for improvisation because you're in a legit show and you'd be telling your jokes. The only time you may even go off script is if someone in the crowd says something to you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this question then, because this is just what I've noticed is a lot of people have about 3 elements to their jokes, which are there's the actual joke, which I can do comedy of just I have a bunch of written jokes. I'm going to say that apart again. So
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of written jokes, and I can get on stage and tell these written jokes like thing after thing or joke
Yeah.
after joke. Then they have the concept of the joke, like, I'm bad with romance. I have a lot of jokes about failed romance. So they have the joke, the concept, and then they have an opinion or morality about the subject of, like, we need to treat women better. I'm bad at romances. I've done this. And the morality is, we need to treat women better.
Right.
The concept is, I'm bad at romance. Then you have the joke about the girl
individual.
that...
Yeah.
And so tonight, I've always had the 2 elements. Like, I've had, jokes about being bad at romance and these individual jokes. And tonight, I tried to transition towards, like, an overall narrative of you need to love yourself and then give, like, things leading into that situation.
Brandon, you sound like a real lady haha.
But see, my thing is that now you're trying to make it too conceptual. And
Yeah.
now you're trying to make it too much into an
Like
art.
scientific.
Yeah, like
almost.
it's an art, but it's not an art. You know what I mean? like
That's why I'm asking
and my
your guys'
thing, and my
opinion
thing,
on
like
it.
when I see comment and people, I had a conversation about this with somebody a couple of days ago about like, do I see this as art? And I don't see it as art. We talk shit until the shit becomes a joke, and then that's it. Right, like when something first gets said, and see the thing is like what you were saying, you were trying to like turn it into something else tonight. That that could be part of the problem when you're trying to turn it into something and turn it into something. I'm not.
No, I like the word of that. Yeah, it's good. You know, it's part of the problem. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, it could end up being part of the problem when you're trying to make it into something. Yeah. Like tonight when I talked about the crystal, the spicy chicken was on the crystal on the menu tonight. And then I talked about how like Subway doesn't have a decent $5 footlong menu, and then the riots thing. I didn't try to do that. That was a stream of consciousness. So like all that came to my head at once.
Well, all this came to me in the shower, so I just wrote it down.
So tell it how it came to you. Don't try to turn it into something that it wasn't.
Or that's philosophically bigger than itself.
Yeah.
Like
just like admitting,
especially talking about chaining, right? Or talking about like making a narrative thread, right? Like your narrative thread comes from you being a man, right? Like becoming a finished human being. Not, I shouldn't say man.
Oh, don't take it back.
I am taking it back because I'm saying finished human being. Because we're all dudes here, so I said man. But it could mean a woman or a whatever, right? Them, right? It could be anybody. But I'm saying you're a finished.
If there are any hermaphrodite comedians listeing, we include you too.
That would be awesome, by the way. Like, how much fucking like.
They can go.
Dude, they
themselves.
have. They got material like from both sides.
Dang it!
They got like 3 times the material off of their body as we do, and that's not fair.
It's not.
Cheating.
Yeah, masturbate and get pregnant. Is that true?
No, they're sterile.
No.
They're sterile.
Dude, they got it made.
So
I know.
A little bit.
They only do clean comedy.
You've thrown this term around.
The narrative.
No, I'm going to throw something else at you. Sean Patton's thrown it around, and some other like high quality comedian we've had come here has thrown it around. What do you think transitions someone from an open micer to a show comedian?
Can that hurt a little bit?
Would you say the road? I feel like the
road is a huge part of that.
What you heard?
The
came
biggest,
up here from Mobile.
Yeah, the biggest.
From Columbus.
I mean, to me, it's about time. That's a big one. But then the other one is what I was just talking about, and what I think.
I mean, as far as like content of your comedy,
well,
I would say.
I was gonna say what Gabe was just saying is. That's my wife. I'm gonna answer that in a second. I'll call her back in a second. But to answer your question, I'm going to tie it back into what Gabe just said, which he did. I mean, he didn't say this, but he was talking about when he poured these 3 things that completely connected together, stream of consciousness, that happened, no problem. You didn't go like, you know what I need to do. Like, it's not about that. It's about you're a finished adult human being, and you've been doing this art or not art. Right, you've been doing whatever this is that we do long enough. The craft, people call it the craft. Like cheese. Yeah, the cheese. Right, we've been doing the craft. Yeah, we've been like we're fucking blacksmith now. Anyway,
cheesesmith.
And you've been doing it long enough that
it just becomes like a natural thing.
Yeah,
you don't even realize you're doing it. You just wrote a joke.
Right.
Know?
Well, exactly. Even when like tonight, you were like, oh, you did a bunch of new stuff. Here's what I did tonight, right? My set, and you were the one earlier that said I hit 7 on the nose, right?
You did, no, I told all the guys that weren't from out of town, all the local guys, 10 minutes.
Oh, did you?
You literally put the mic on the stand at 10. Like, you hit it on the head tonight. I was very...
And it's not normal for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't say... If you tell me do 20, I'll do 20, right? That's true. Nah, you've never seen me. Nah.
No roast joke. Like I was very impressed.
It's rare for me to not go over
how tight it
under
was.
20.
It was right.
20, I'll hit. I can hit 20.
Yeah.
Under 20.
Will you give him 10?
When you give me 10, I do 15.
Everybody else did longer than you did. You did 10.
20.
Henri did almost 12.
Yeah.
You said you did 17.
I did 17
I gave up
on the
after
dot.
Henri. I was just like, forget it. I'm not timing it. Which
back
usually is what ends up happening when I host, by the way. You're really not being timed.
Because there's no like...
I know the secret.
Or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody saying
headlining
get the
every
fuck
time.
out at 11 o'clock.
Right. Nothing
And they're
matters.
saying, hey, when do we need to leave? And they're just like...
Yeah,
like,
there's nobody
I'm like, okay,
there's
fine.
nobody off stage like, get the fuck out of this.
But it's still rude when there's people after you.
Right.
Like, you know, like I went right before.
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
went
if
right
somebody
before Eric,
goes,
so,
if I say 10 and you go 20,
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like
a dick
if-
move. But it's like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you're over by 30 seconds.
Right.
Or a
Well,
minute.
yeah.
You
And
know?
I knew I was
Like,
first, so I was intentionally like, "Fuck that! I'm not
Yeah.
taking 4 pages
I get your
on
point, though.
stage."
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Because I know, like,
Right.
like, there's a lot of like, there's
Way
a
to
lot
go,
of comedians that
Brandon.
I've worked with that are like, oh yeah,
I
you know,
did 17.
like,
I was not
light
the good
me,
voice.
Mostly, I
like,
just
light
forgot
me
to.
at 9 minutes if I have 10 minutes. Like, light me at 8 minutes so that I know that's my time and I can tell my last joke because I know that it takes like 2 minutes.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And like, there's other comedians that are like, "Oh yeah, man, well, like, this is my last joke, and I'm gonna bumble through it for 12 minutes because I drank too much before
Right.
my set, and I have no concept of like courtesy to other people." You know?
No.
Yeah.
I normally don't perform intoxicated at all. And, like, I only
At
had
all.
2... Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2
No,
drinks tonight.
You seem like the kind of person that gets white girl wasted off. Of
Oh, I
one
do.
drink.
But I had 2 drinks tonight,
Oh
completely
my god!
lost my
oh
sense
my god!
of time.
2 drinks. Sheesh.
Well, I mean, it's enough to be, like, still fully functioning, but, like, the inhibition's gone, so it's just
Yeah.
like, screw time. I'm gonna tell these extra jokes. Like,
No,
I threw
See,
in...
I don't
I
even-
just realized how bad of an alcoholic I am when you said, "Yeah, I had 2 drinks and
Yeah.
all the inhibitions are." Like, god damn, I remember like, is that a bottle of Jack Daniels just sitting in your car? Yeah.
But like, I don't even.
Glug 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 glug. Thank you.
Normally,
And, like,
whiskey's a
getting
big
on
part of
stage.
my nights.
Yeah, I don't even judge that. 'Cause when I first started doing comedy, I did all my sets drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you've been. How long have you been doing it?
about 6 months, 7 months.
Okay.
December.
Okay,
6 months.
Six months
Yeah.
in, I used to get super lit before I would get on stage. I would, and I remember the first time I ever went on stage. I remember it was a Friday night. It was in Columbus, and I practiced these jokes all week. And that Friday evening, I went to the store and I bought a Four Loko and I chugged it, and then I went to the place and I
God,
just
that's
told
your
these
problem
jokes.
right
And then I got off stage, and then I was like, and I was just waiting for people to tell me whether or not I was funny or not. And 2 people said I was funny, so I was like, okay, I'll come back next week.
That's the reason
And-
that I don't drink before I perform. Like, I don't drink or smoke before I perform anymore, because like the last time I performed in Mobile with Ryan was like, I went to one of the hotels that my friends was working at, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I got your bar tab." Like, oh, your beer's like,
The next
3/4 of the way done. I'll just replace it. Oh, I accidentally poured an extra shot. Here, take it. And I did drink more than I should have.
That bartender was trying to rape you.
I feel like I
well,
drink
like,
more the
bartender,
longer I
like-
do it. Like when I started, it was okay. I don't smoke weed 2 hours before
Yeah.
the show starts. Not even
Yeah.
before I'm 2 hours. I'm done. I'm not smoking.
Yeah.
And then when I would get to the place, it would be a shot and a beer.
Yeah.
And then I'd get. Now it's most of a flask.
Yeah.
I'm talking. I know when the show's actually going to start, so I'm going to start. I'm going to quit smoking maybe right before I go up to the place.
Yeah.
And
Now-
then I'm just drinking until I'm on stage.
Yeah. But like,
Not hammered, but.
I had my drinks and I was like, oh crap, I gotta go to the venue, pay my tab, yada yada. You gotta fucking went over there and like, yeah, let's give it up for Ryan Jetton. His jokes are crap, but he fucking built comedy.
Oh, that
he
was the
fucking
time you're
built
talking
comedy
about.
in Mobile, and I like and for like a 10-minute opening set. Almost fell over on stage because I was like leaning over, like I was going to grab the mic stand to lean on it, and I missed it. And yeah, I just made a complete ass of myself. And then I got off stage, and a friend of mine invited me to a party. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the humongous douche nozzle that like leaves right after his set. And I had like at the time I had no job, and comedy was like my only form of like non-existent income. Like I get like $10 for whatever, but I had to spend 30 to get it.
Yeah.
So like I asked Ryan if I was getting paid, and kind of made a dick of myself, and then left. And yeah, I haven't had a show booked in 2 years in my own town. So
Oh,
yeah, well, except for the ones that I booked.
yeah. I know though. I say I've been.
You
doing,
live there?
Yeah, I live in Daphne, which is like 10 minutes east of Mobile.
Yeah, I know where Daphne is.
And I go like.
So that would be like Vern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
not
go
getting a show in Montgomery.
I go to the open mic at Blind Mule as often as I can, but it's like I'm fucking broke. Like I
Right.
literally have $2 in my bank account right now. Like working for myself is a nightmare, and I hate it. And like right now, if you anybody listening, if you need drugs smuggled to or from Mobile, like call me. I'll fucking sort some sort of deal out. Okay? Like I'm just fucking broke right now. You can cut all that out. I'm just trying.
But I say I've been doing it for 6 months. But like when we started here, and when
Well, not when we started. When you started.
Yeah, when I
What do
started.
you
I was about to
mean
say,
we?
we started...
Well, back then
Okay.
though, December, January, February, and
What's this we shit? You
a
think I
little
got a
bit-
mouse in my
Yeah,
pocket?
what do you mean we?
a little bit of
I was
March.
here.
We had an open mic every other Sunday, every Monday, Tuesday. Then I was going to an open mic every Wednesday. Then we'd have random Thursday, Friday shows.
Right.
And then we'd sometimes have a Saturday show.
Yeah.
And so it was like,
You just had
Bro.
stage time all
Yeah.
Kinda
As
miss
much
Dooley's.
as you wanted.
yeah, and
Like,
so it rocketed me forward. Like, people are like, oh, you're so good for only doing this. I'm like, no.
It's
I've, like, probably done...
the first 3 months of that, he was
Yeah.
doing comedy 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of these kids were. Like, we had a lot of shows going on.
Yeah.
Like, to the point that it was fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Yeah.
too much
Yeah,
comedy.
it was
Like,
a
I'm
lot.
getting, like,
It's
yeah.
fucking too much comedy.
Like you burned yourself
And-
out on it.
That's
Yeah.
why I stopped going to Barra.
Well, I'm
Because we were doing... I was like, well, I'll just go to Dooley's. Like, there's no point in me going... I'll just...
And then we stopped doing dualies.
yeah, like, I have a better
And
better
then
response to Dooley's
I stopped
than I do
doing
at Barra.
GT South. And I don't know what the fuck they do out there now.
Oh,
But I
it's,
stopped doing it.
no
and then,
cover-
I will say
anymore.
this: their French fries are delicious. They're big potato, the thick cut
Oh,
fries.
are they?
The
Oh, yeah.
hot dogs.
I
are
was
actually
excited about
cut in
that too.
half
It
like
really
a
sucks.
hamburger.
Well,
It's
I don't know.
pretty good.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with that because I never heard it from Mike. So I imagine I'm still allowed to go eat his food.
Take every
Like, I definitely
turnout
wanna go
you've
buy
ever
them
thought
some
of
food.
at GT South. Double it.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
was
it was good.
packed.
There
I'm not
was,
talking
like,
about the show.
3
I'm
on
talking
the-
about their food.
Oh no, the food. The only thing I had was a bite of the hot dog, which was pretty good, and the French fries, which I loved.
Awesome.
That was it. I mean, I'm talking about like thick, like you fourth a potato,
Oh
or
yeah.
quarter a potato, I guess.
A fourth and a quarter of the same thing.
Tomato.
Yeah. You'd
Actually, it was potato,
You'd
potato.
be perfectly happy with 2/8 instead of a quarter.
Potato.
I don't care what
potato.
percentage or fraction of a potato, just fry it.
Here's the
and
deal
give
with
me some
French fries. If I can count how many French fries are on the plate without looking at them, that's not enough French fries.
Nowhere near French fries.
It needs to be a pile.
Yeah.
Just say it's how many French fries is it? A pile.
Yes.
That's enough French fries.
I want the
Yeah.
amount to be just regret.
How much is this gonna suck tomorrow?
Fuck, I shouldn't eat.
Like, how angry is my Fitbit gonna be with me?
Did you guys see, like, I think it was 2 weeks ago, McDonald's, like,
Cops on his
rebooted
laptop on
the
Facebook.
Hamburglar as, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hamburglar, he looks like fucking James Dean, the porn star. Like a greasier porn star.
The hamburger's gonna fuck Wendy for Wendy's.
Yeah.
Lucky bastard.
Dude,
I know.
let me tell you
Wendy's girl
something.
is
That
like
live
my
Redheads
action-
like
yeah.
bad boys stuff.
Dude, that live action actress, yeah.
Yeah,
She would
Wendy,
get the- she would get the-
I
Wendy's
don't like
girl. If you're listening to this, my name's Brandon. You can find me at Twitter. Die to live KO. Hit me up.
The funniest,
Most
the
MySpace
funniest thing I think
Seriously,
about
you
that
dude,
don't
ever.
fucking.
How,
you need
how
a new
much
Twitter.
Super Street Fighter 4 do you
I don't say that to
The-
anybody.
I don't. I play Smash though and Ultimate Marvel.
God damn.
the funniest thing I think about, like the whole Wendy's thing, we was talking about the Wendy's bitch
Bitch
can
would
get
get
it.
the D.
One, they showed
She
the
would
real
get
Wendy.
all of the
One
D.
commercial they showed the
She would
real
get
Wendy.
85% of the
And
Yeah,
then
like
and
the-
you
like
see
the
what
action-
she really
yeah.
looks like, and then you're
Yeah.
like,
Pocahontas.
real Wendy is horrible.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't know
she's
that.
like 38 and she's the CEO
she's
of a
just
company.
she
so,
looks
like,
she looks
she don't
like
have
she's
to
the
try.
As long as
CEO
they
of a
bring back the
hamburger
pretzel bun
place.
burger, I
Like,
don't care. I'd hit it.
Yeah.
Just give me a pretzel bun.
Yeah, but that's
Pretzel
what I'm
bun
saying
burger.
though. Like,
pretzel one.
like the
that
Wendy,
new ghost pepper
the
sauce
skinny
on
Wendy
it?
on the commercial doesn't have to give you nothing. The
Well, I don't want her. I want her to
fat
go away.
Wendy you gotta barter with. Like
Yeah.
you gotta wonder. She
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give and take. I mean,
There's a fat one and there's a skinny
billionaire.
Wendy.
Yeah, she owns.
How many Ferraris are you gonna give me if I do this?
Yeah, do I
You
have
gotta
to
stem
pay for
in your
it?
shit a little. You gotta be like, all right, what kind of
Besides,
yacht?
I think Wendy's
Ferraris,
is really,
Frosties.
Wendy is like they're acting too uppity now for where they are. Like
Yeah.
with the brioche and all this shit.
Oh, dude.
It's
yeah.
like,
We have
do you know?
strawberry
in the
fresh
ocean?
salads
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Do you know
Look at all
what
of
you
our
are?
teas.
Are all
You have
y'all's-
square fucking burger patties.
Right.
Real quick, like,
Church that shit
y'all's
up.
Wendy up here, like
Brioche.
y'all's Wendy's up here. Like, did they fucking like remodel it with that new modern
Yeah.
fucking with like the slab
That's
on the
every
side?
restaurant.
Yeah,
no,
like
the
every
shittiest
fast
Wendy's
food
in
place.
town has it.
Every fast
Yeah.
food restaurant is like, oh yeah, we're like chic and Art Deco. Like, no, you're not. You still fucking fry the same
It's
fries.
fucking Chipotle.
With
right?
those hood
Chipotle
people.
You didn't change
is
that
the
microwave.
hybrid SUV of fucking. It's like you
hate
want to
Chipotle.
be a thing, but you want to also be another thing.
I like
You're a
those.
piece of
It's
shit.
cheaper
Be
and it
the
has more
thing.
options.
Yeah.
Don't be two things. Be
Yeah.
the one thing.
Yeah, there's a place
And that's
in
what. That's the difference between an open
There you
micer,
go.
Brandon. That's the difference between an open micer and a show comic, right? A fucking
Show comics
open micer.
hate
No,
Chipotle?
no, an open micer, right? An open micer is going to try to be a fucking hybrid SUV. An open micer is going to be a Chipotle, right?
Yeah.
An open micer is going to be a remodeled fucking Wendy's, right? He's grabbing shit. Oh, I love that. I want to fucking. He's
Yeah.
just grabbing
I wanna-
shit.
I wanna
He
do
has
that
no idea who
because
the fuck
did
he
it, and
is,
I wanna
right?
do that
So he's
because they did
Chipotle,
it.
right? A fucking show comic is Taco Bell. Right? Taco Bell is not churching up a fucking thing. They say, you know what we do? We got these sauce packets.
Yeah.
People like them. Let's make a hotter one.
Yeah, they
Maybe
got a
people
new
will
one.
like
It's
that.
Diablo like
you know what
that.
we're gonna do? We're gonna
Oh.
keep the fucking menu mad simple.
Yeah.
Hey, you got $2? You're stoned as shit. You want two things?
Yeah.
Boom, done.
Like,
Get through the
our-
drive-thru.
Like our entire focus group is drunk college kids.
It's the most
Yeah.
fucking
Like
And-
we just
Just
put
like Del Taco.
we put spy cameras in their
Del
kitchens.
Taco.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Tacos even better example.
Even
Yeah.
better example.
You go there with
because
$5.
you go in there with
leave with
$5
change.
and you're
Yeah.
And full.
and full,
I'll do it.
full as a basket.
All right.
See you
Hey,
guys.
man.
See you if I feel. So y'all hanging out twice. Figured I'd come out.
Fucking Jeremy Adams, ladies and gentlemen.
Y'all mind if I just
With a
chill?
haircut.
Yeah.
Hang out, yeah, with a
Fucking-
haircut, liking
we're
it.
doing a podcast. How's it going, man? I'm Eric.
Oh shit, a podcast. I did that thing now.
Yeah.
Oh, my voice is on that.
This is gonna be a bitch to edit.
Yeah.
I know. I feel bad for George. Not just because he's a black atheist in the South. Well, also.
Is it? No, is it? What? And speaking of which, when you said that, I thought of this. And I forgot.
Oh, that's the other thing. I've
Is
never
it
met a
better-
black female atheist
Is it
in
better
the
to
South
be
either.
an atheist or gay now? Like, which one's worse now?
It's still atheist.
Yeah.
By
Still
far.
atheist
Yeah.
by far.
By far.
Without
Because,
doubt.
like, gay, you get, like, pride.
you can
be
pray the
proud
gay
of
away.
being.
Yeah, but I mean, you get
You
this.
can be proud of being gay. You can't be
Did you
proud
just
of
say
being
you
an
can
atheist.
pray the gay
But-
away?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
you
thing
can
is-
shock the
like-
gay away.
yeah,
if you
like-
believe in the seven. Yeah.
But see, the thing
Yeah,
is, there's
yeah.
some gay
You
dudes
can't-
like
you can't shock
you
the
can just look
atheist
at them
away.
and just tell they're gay. But for an atheist, it's not the same way.
No,
Like,
it's
you can't
not.
be a flamboyant atheist. Well,
No.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
You could be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
That's
people
just
that
called
are-
that's just
Yeah,
called
exactly.
being a douchebag.
Yeah,
Exactly.
being an asshole.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think, I think there's like the Affliction brand for that, but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Tom
Ed Hardy.
God,
Ed Hardy.
Ed Hardy.
Tom
Dude,
Hardy.
okay.
The fucking guy
Same
from
thing.
Mad
It's
Max.
like-
I don't know what anything is.
I hate
I'm the
to, like-
worst at references.
Dude, I hate to throw the subject away, but like speaking of like Affliction and Tom Hardy and shit like that. So like I played WoW. Like
I just
I just fucking,
wait, this
I
thing-
just made my
Affliction
shitty
Warlock.
reference yours.
just yeah, Tom Hardy, Ed Hardy.
Forced it on you.
Fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. Anyway, like I played WoW for like 5 years, and I played a fucking
Affliction
Goddamn.
Warlock?
yeah, I played an Affliction Warlock. And then, like, I was at the store buying clothes. Like, oh, this shirt has Affliction written on it. That's fucking awesome. Because, like, WoW
Yeah.
reference and everything. So I bought it, and I wore it once. And I wore it out, and every douchebag piece of shit MMA douche nozzle fucking, like, oh, nice shirt, bro. What up? And like, what the fuck? And then somebody was like, yeah, dude, Affliction is, like, the douchebag brand.
Right.
God damn it, I wasted, like, $70 on this shirt.
Oh.
Fuck.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
$70 for a T-shirt.
Right.
Exactly. That should have
Better
been a
take
red
that
flag
to-
right there.
So just
Well,
go to a few thrift stores.
The weirdest thing about Affliction is it's attached to a
Sorry,
MMA
Kohl's
fighting
and
company,
antique
right?
shop.
Yeah,
They're not.
like, they're just
douchebaggy for douchebag's sake.
They're actually
Well,
my
they're
outfits
specifically
are Kohl's
for-
right
like,
now.
all they
This
really
shirt
are
came
is
from
just like
Kohl's.
a sponsor
These
of
pants
MMA. Like, they
came
have
from-
no
Right.
like
Kohl's,
creative
too.
control of
It's coordinated.
like.
I
tap
thought they
out.
were like tap out.
See?
No. Tap out is tap out.
I got this shirt
Affliction
on
is just
eBay.
I don't know
Affliction.
anything
Aw.
about it.
But
Okay.
It's
like,
even better.
it's just
No,
like
the
that
back-
brand
the
that's
seam on the back
synonymous with
started
like
to come out.
because they sponsor
yeah.
UFC fights and
Can't
stuff
tell.
like that. So like people are like, oh yeah, the Affliction
Also,
brand that's
eBay
on the
shirts are a lot
fucking
smaller.
floor of the ring where somebody
it?
just got their
Okay.
face
Should.
punched in. I'm gonna buy that shirt
Okay.
because like there are cheaper ways
It
of
looks
letting
stupid.
the world know that
Is
you're
what
a
I'm saying.
douchebag.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really dumb looking
Yeah.
clothing.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not real picky about clothes, right?
Yeah,
Like, I'm
exactly.
like, I wear, suits and jackets, and I wear clothes. I do. I wear suits. I'm a suit-wearing human being. Like, I
Yeah.
wear suits.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, like
for
I
a job.
performed in a 3-piece tonight.
Right, yeah.
I have no money, but I still have decent.
It's
clothes.
easy as shit too now,
Yeah.
because fucking like the
Maybe I'll
iPhone,
perform in a suit.
like the iPhone, right? Like we do the slave labor now again, right? Like Emancipation Proclamation didn't happen in China.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Hashtag little baby fingers stitching my suit together.
Yeah.
Right. I'm fine with that.
Tighter
And
stitch
no
means
tall
tighter
cops.
fit.
Yeah,
Say what?
exactly.
Tighter
See,
stitch means tighter fit.
That's it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
see, no one knows that I buy all my vests from JCPenney on clearance 80% off. Okay, nobody needs to know that.
Oh fuck that! I order mine directly. It's from sweatshops.
Yeah.
Like I order my shit where like I have to go on Google Translate and be like,
Whole name.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's insane. Like I'll order like 7 or 8 suits at a time, and it'll be $200 shipped from China.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I get all my suits fitted by a spinach fanatic. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Popeye the Tailor Man. He's pretty good.
Kurt Keller, ladies and gentlemen. Kurt Keller, ladies and gentlemen. And on that note, no, that's a fucking that's
one of my
Kurt's
fluffy-
that's Kurt's job.
Fluffy theme jokes.
Was it? Oh, you already wrote that? Okay.
No, yeah, no.
Because that's not usual for you. You usually are just like, let me throw out the things that'll make my mom happy.
That's
Like,
why I sit back and just keep.
I want to
my
make
mouth
Jason's mom pee his pants. Let's
shut.
do
Just
that.
wait for things. And just
Team.
wait for the
So
moment.
did you
her
hear my
pants.
Kurt Keller like joke
Just look
tonight?
your secret.
The-
Is that
Wait,
hermaphroditic
you can
mom
probably-
joke?
I made one Kurt Keller joke tonight, and it was I was trying to find a way to end my set list, and I was like, I think I'm going to get into the business of shipping pre-built L-shaped desks to people. I think there's a real corner in the market that needs filling.
God damn it.
And I hated myself for saying
You
it, and people
motherfucker.
laughed at it.
Yeah.
I was just like, stop.
Can I follow up with something?
Yeah.
So I bought a gay couch.
Did you?
Yeah, it's a homosexual.
Lame.
So that's what we're doing. Those kind of jokes.
That's what we're gonna do right now because I'm about to.
Fluffy
I'm about
jokes.
to do this.
All right,
Those
Jamie,
are
let's
all-
go.
that's
We're
what
done
those-
here.
Those are all.
I mean, are we doing this?
That was
Because we
for
can do
Thursday.
this. 2, 3, and we're gonna wrap up this fucking podcast real fast. Capital City Comedy. Go to Facebook.com/Capital City Comedy or www.downtowntreybrown.com. Gabe Davis, where you coming up?
Coming up, I'll actually be at the local in Atlanta Tuesday night. I'll actually be down here Thursday night. Friday night, I'll be in Columbus at the Springer Opera House. You can also find me on Instagram at Hey Gabe Davis. And I'm also on YouTube as Hey Gabe. And Twitter is Chief_Hit That. Until I
Talk about me.
and those are all true. When I say Chief_Hit That, it's Chief_HITDAT. Until I change it. Hit that. Until I change it to Hey Gabe. Right now it hasn't been changed. Facebook is Gabe Davis. And I periodically post old videos of me telling jokes. So check it out.
Yeah, Eric Balch, where you at?
My next shows are in August 15th and 16th in Lafayette, Louisiana, at Poets and JP's. Doing a couple headlining gigs out there. You can find me on Twitter at Eric the Red Legit. Eric the Red was taken, man. Fuck it.
I know.
Yeah. don't ever look me up on Facebook. I don't post shit. I tried to delete the page and it won't delete. I don't post anything on YouTube, and I don't have a Vine or nothing. So that's pretty much it for me.
You don't have a Vine?
I know. I keep thinking about making one, but it's like I'm lazy, and like I don't. Yeah.
Mine just goes up my window.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, thanks everybody for listening. George, you're gonna have a pain in the balls of a time to fucking cut this thing together into something that makes fucking half a dick of sense.
Yes.
And he did have a hard time editing this podcast, almost 3 hours. It was wonderful. Anyway, yeah, the only things they didn't post up, I'm going to try to get as much information and put it in the description below. If you made it this far, good for you. I don't have anything. But yeah, go to anything extra, go to downtowntrey.brown.com, downtowntrey.brown.com, and you can also go to my website, gcbroken.com. And thanks for listening to the Capital City Comedy Podcast. See you next time.